All right, we are live. It says it, Ray. It says we're live.
We're officially live, Jeff. We get to go live together this morning.
I know. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
You had a good weekend?
I did. I got to see my family and my sister who lives in Scotland. So we had a great time with her being in town. So it was a good way to spend a morning or a weekend. How about you?
Yeah, we just like hung out, just like not doing anything kind of a day, you know, which is nice. We don't typically do that. Like we've been the whole week and we just kind of chilled. We got a couple little things done, but no real working or anything. So trying to get us up on the, do you have it up on the group so we can see who's in there? Because I did and then I messed it up.
I will pull it up right now.
I got it.
We have a lot of people commenting good morning so far. So I am glad that we're in the right spot. Good morning, everyone. Yes. Happy Monday.
I at least got that part right, so that's good. Morning, Libby, Andrea, good to see ya. Nikki, how are ya? Kate's here. Adam's here.
Bree's Jeff, I know we don't do this very often, but can you like introduce yourself? Like if somebody was new to our live video stream, can you like, who are you, Jeff Gargis?
I'm Jeff Gargis. I'm the COO, one of the co-founders of the Teach Better team. So, and I'm Ray's co-host on the Teach Better Talk podcast as well. So
you do really mediocre job on that. Nice job. Yeah.
Well, before I have you say anything, good morning, Debbie, Brianna, Joe's in the house, Maggie, Rob, always good to see you, sir. Rob's texting me on a Sunday, by the way. Just like, who cares at this point, right, Rob? Yeah. Sammy, good to see you. Katie, Megan's here. Kylie's here. Alex is here. Natalie's here.
Kylie and I just connected.
Here.
Oh, Schmitto, so fun. Kylie and I just connected on like all platforms. Like I feel like I go to every notification now, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and like I get to.
You're like, oh, what's that? Oh, just Kylie. She's back. She's getting me somewhere else. All right, good.
Well, you've got to link it though. Like you meet somebody on social media, and then you connect with them on other platforms as well.
Yep.
Like, oh, a friendly face.
Kylie and I recently connected too on a few different other platforms. Good morning, Carrie. All right, so Ray, same question to you because some people may not necessarily know you now. All the people I'm seeing here probably know you, but some days I don't know you.
That's true.
So can you introduce yourself as well?
Right? When I'm grumpy, like I don't know who this chick is. No, hi everyone. My name is Rae Hewart. I'm a full-time 6th grade math teacher and also the director of training and development for the Teach Better team, in addition to some other fun stuff I get to do in education. So excited to be here. And Joe says we all know Rae. There you go.
They do. I was just realizing, like, as you said that, I'm like, I really do. I come live every time, and I'm just always just kind of like, you all know me, right? And I don't actually. I should really probably introduce myself more often, huh?
Well, I think
I'm just like constantly sucking up to Ray. I don't. Morning, Danielle.
He's pretty high on my list, so it's no big deal. I do have to say though, Jeff, it is funny because we go live often as like facilitators of conversation versus being like the ones that are, sometimes being interviewed. And so it's funny. I don't always introduce myself either, but it's like, all right, good morning. Happy Monday. We'll remind you who we are. We have some news that we'll be talking about that I think it was probably worth us maybe going deeper into who we were. So that's good.
Hi, Jillian from Canada. Love it. Rob, I'm not even going to put that on the screen.
No, you have to put it up.
Liv's in the house. Hey, Livia. Good to see you. Early for you, Livia, isn't it?
Yeah, 6 a.m. Good morning, Livia. I hope you have your coffee. I have coffee. I'm ready. Yeah.
Look at that. Alex T for the win.
I don't know. He's lying because he sends me loving messages and all the time. So I think he's always going to be Team Rae. Just saying.
Yeah, I think he's just Team Teach Better team. And we love him for that.
He is Teach Better team. Like he is like.
True. Alex is going to be like our official mascot.
That's what I mean. Yes, he's like the best spokes guy ever.
Lindsay's here. Barbara's here.
Yeah.
Getting hot outside for coffee. Yeah, drink your coffee inside or early enough so that it's not too hot.
It's never too hot.
Is that what you have? You're on coffee this morning?
Me? Yes, yeah. I have an espresso machine, so I say it's coffee, but technically.
I realized I went like total old school grid method mug.
You did. That's like what, 5 years ago? That's like a good mug right there.
Yeah, it's still the gridmethod.com on there. This was like right when we got. I think this was one of the first things that Chad was like, "Hey, we're doing this thing together. Here's a mug." Like,
isn't that like vintage, right? That's like a vintage better
I should totally put this on eBay and see what it goes for. Like,
I love it. Yeah.
All right. So, do we want to just get into this? Do we want to get into it?
Yes.
Okay, so, hey, Skip, good to see you. Andrew's here. Baby Luke is here. So it's cool. So I kind of feel I'm mixed emotions this morning.
I can kind of feel like our excitement's a little down.
It's
if anybody in the comments is feeling that, like we're not like, boo, because this isn't really that kind of announcement, to be honest.
Yeah, and I guess I felt bad. Not bad. Well, no, I feel bad. Like all the people are like, oh, I can't wait. And I saw Bree like right. She's like, hi. She's like, I can't wait. And I'm like, oh, I can.
Here's why. I didn't know. We're gonna talk about a few things, but we weren't sure how to talk about these things, and so
Barbara knows.
She knows. We send an email. We've written a blog post. We have a lot going on to support this process. But Jeff and I were like, we got to come live and talk through this. And it was just interesting because I'm like, well, we want people to know that we're going live. So we want them to be like, hey, keep your eyes out. But then on the flip side, I'm like, but don't get too excited because it's not really that kind of big news. So Jeff, will you spill the beans and then we can talk through some things that we want to make sure we touch on today? Because a lot of people email. So if you're on our email,
a lot of people got the email. Yep. So after just hours and days and honestly months of just deliberation and crossing our fingers and talking through every possible like scenario and stuff like that, we have finally come to the conclusion that we do have to cancel the 2020 Teach Better Conference. We just do not feel like we can do it in a safe manner with so many unknowns and things getting worse in a lot of states right now. And we just feel like it's not the right thing for us to do. And it sucks. I'm going to just say it bluntly. And it was just really tough. And I think that's what you were just saying. We wanted to come live because we wanted you to like feel it and see it like in our faces and feel it with us. Cause this was not easy. I'm talking, we've been talking about this basically since day in Chicago when all the different states started shutting down and back in March. Right. So like, and then it's been just over and over and things started getting better. And we're like, ooh, maybe, and Ohio's like pretty like doing well and stuff, but then things started going worse and we're like, are people going to be comfortable? Can we possibly create the same feeling in a safe manner? And I just don't think we can. There it is. I'm sorry, Bree. I know you were thinking this was going to be like an awesome morning announcement, and it's just, unfortunately, it's not.
I do want to highlight a few things, though. Yes, this is a challenging element, but I want to kind of tell you the innards of what happened with this conversation because it kind of blew up in our face, which was super interesting to watch Jeff and I like watch our team like literally come together in a rah-rah because Jeff, Chad, and I had been talking about this since March, and we kind of decided even if we could do it, could we actually do it the way it needs to be done? Because the atmosphere of 2019 for Teach Better, I can't even describe the feeling. It was the best 3 days of my life. I mean, it was hugging people constantly. We had a one-on-one conversation with every single person there. Amazing speakers, amazing authors, amazing networking. It was just the pictures. It was the most amazing event. You could like taste it in the air. The energy was so incredible. Yeah. And so even if we could do it, should we do it? And so that was really the focus of the conversation. So we hopped on a team call with every member of the team who could make it. And we said, talk this out with us. Like, this isn't a, Jeff, Chad, and Rae decision. This is a whole family decision. What do we do? And not only did our family say, we get it, even if we spent thousands of dollars to create some sort of online virtual event, could we still hit kind of the pillars of why we did this conference? And the two pillars we concluded of the reason the Teach Better Conference even exists is for the family networking, to build relationships, and to take those like really strategic takeaways that you could bring immediately back to your classroom. And with those two pillars, we're like, we can almost give everyone those elements, but you can't, the element of a conference of like encompassing that your whole environment for those days, we can't duplicate. So then our team went insane because we came up with like all these elements of how we're going to bring that same energy, bring those support avenues to our network this fall. And that's what I can't wait for all of you to hear.
Yeah. I want to touch a couple questions that are in the comments. Can we hit on that really quick?
Yes, I know.
So Ray already kind of alluded and covered the fact. So we are not flipping the virtual because we don't feel like it would be the same thing. We do have some other stuff talking. The other one was about registration, and someone in there, I can't remember who it was, sorry, said just flip my registration out. Because of logistics, we're not going to be able to do that. So we're actually just going to refund everyone the registration, 100%, no worries. Alex also asked if the proposal submissions continue to 2021. I don't know that we discussed that, but my thought is that probably not, because things are going to change between now and then, and you may have a different message to share, a different story to tell. So we'll probably just open them back up again. But we can look into that when we get closer to that day and the logistics of that. And the most sorry, go ahead.
Save your information you submitted, because you guys still have that all. Like, save that, because you might want to share that same proposal next year. But you you've also, all these educators that are commenting, we've grown so much. You might have a different topic you want to present on next year. So no worries.
Joe brings up a great question.
Joe,
I'm working on it, buddy. I'm still working on it.
No.
Someone else asked, Ray, and maybe this will lead us into some of the other stuff that you were going to touch on, is will the July 14th event still happen?
Great question. So here was the conversation, and I'm not telling you this like in a gimmick. Like, this is literally what happened on our team, is that we decided that the July 14th event had to happen, because the reason the July 14th event was even created in the first place was because Dr. Neil Gupta came to us and said, we need to show people that they can build relationships virtually and have the support system that they need. Now, a caveat to that was, so when they come to the conference, they know like online people who are now in person. But the pillar that we did that entire conference off of was, we want people to build authentic relationships virtually. And so we're keeping our July 14th event. We shifted it a bit. It's now the July networking event, which is really what it was before. We just took kickoff kind of out of that title because it's not a kickoff to anything. It's, besides that, it's a kickoff to the 2020 August school year, right? But we're still excited. We have hundreds of people registered for that already. We're going to come together for 2 hours on July 14th. And we have a ton of different education facilitators that are leading amazing sessions that evening. We're encouraging everybody to come in comfy clothes and grab their favorite beverage. And we're going to just spend time together, because we're a family and we deserve to have time together and continue to build relationships with other amazing educators around the world.
And quick question on that one, Ray. What's the cost to that July 14th one?
Completely free. It's a free event. We just want you to come relax. The hardest part of the event is picking your
registering, because you got to pick.
And registering. Okay, so picking a cocktail of choice and registering. So if you go to teachbetter.com/kickoff2020, you're going to be able to see all the details. When you register, you have to pick 2 breakout sessions, but the session facilitators are like the most amazing people on the planet. So I don't actually know how you choose. I think that's been probably the most talked about concept of, between Hans Appel, Dr. Valerie Camille-Jones, Matt Miller, Neil Gupta, Caitlin Giordano, Rochelle Dene-Poth. I mean, like, literally we have all these people, like CJ Reynolds is coming, Kevin Butler, all these different educators from around the country are facilitating their own sessions on a variety of topics. That's the hardest part. Good luck picking your session.
And
we're also making some secret announcements on that day.
I was going to say, so the other thing is that you alluded to all these different ideas that the team came up with, which, by the way, was one of the coolest and craziest things. Is I went and took my family away for a week, and I come back and Ray's like, here's 5 million ideas that the team came up to utilize this time that we would have put into these other things that provide opportunities for everybody. We are announcing several things at the July 14th event, right? I mean, there's like, it's a few different things.
Yeah, so for everybody who's popping in maybe a little late, with the conference being canceled, foolishly, my mindset was like, the conference is canceled, we'll see you in 2021, right? That was kind of where my mind was. And our team was like, no, the conference is canceled, but we still want to come up with ways to support you, make you feel like family, and make sure that you have best practice at arm's length to be able to teach better, right? That's the mindset. And we were like, okay, how do we do that? So there are lots of things coming this fall that kind of hit on different pockets of that, making sure that you have information that supports you, making sure that you have people that supports you, making sure that you have sounding boards to spitball ideas and brainstorm. We have exciting news that we'll be announcing on the 14th. All of that we save for the 14th to make it even more special event. Yeah.
Are the sessions being recorded?
No.
They're not. Okay. I don't know that we can. That's the problem. Because of multiple rooms and people. We'll look into it. We'll look into it.
Can
we look into it? I don't know. That wasn't something that we necessarily discussed. We wanted to be more.
Point, the sessions are focused so much more on conversations that I'm not planning on like releasing these after the fact. Like, this is a time where you're going to get nuggets of information, but hopefully build relationships with people. Our joke with the Teach Better conference is we wanted you to sit in a auditorium and oogle at Adam Welcome or Dave Burgess doing amazing things and sharing so much insight on stage, and then have dinner with them that night. Like, we really wanted to bring this humanizing effect where you can not only learn from great educators, but also like socialize with great educators and build friendships with them. And that's what this event is focused on. Are you okay there, buddy?
I'm over here choking.
You're so sad. I know.
Kayla's asking. Yeah, I just promised myself I wouldn't cry. Kayla asked if we want free registration to the conference, will it be able to transfer 2020? Yeah, 2021, yes. Yeah. If you have a free conference registration from anything, excuse me, sorry guys.
Apparently
we give transfer to 2021. What's that?
Apparently we give out like candy. We gave away free registrations at 2019's conference.
That's one of the things. We gave away so many for like 12-hour live, and I'm like, I hate even more that we have to do this. But Debbie's asking if there's any way to have a second networking event. So we are going to talk about another event on the 14th. That's this in the fall, around the time when the conference is going to go, but it may span multiple weeks and stuff. So
we have a lot that we'll be announcing on the 14th that will allow you to not only get support in July, but get a lot of support in the fall. And we really just want you to know that even though we're not coming together physically, we are still together. We are still here. We're still here to like build relationships with. We're still here to talk through education, jargon, junk. We're here. We're around.
I like Katie said that she agrees. She's going to talk about the July 14th. It took me forever to register because I couldn't decide. We've heard that a lot. Rob feels that there needs to be a new T-shirt announced. Be like Alex with just like his mug on the front. I'm thinking by mug, he doesn't mean Alex's coffee mug, but his face.
His face. I would love a mug with Alex's face on it.
I have that. I don't know if anybody's ever seen it. I have that big black mug that's got my daughter's like picture, but it's a close up of her face, and she always jokes that Dad's drinking out of her head. But we could do that with Alex. I think it'd be great.
There we go. Yeah, I'm very bummed if you're checking in now and you haven't joined us for the last 18 minutes. We did announce that the Teach Better 2020 conference was officially canceled. If you're not on our email list, by the way, you can email us and we'll get you on there. We did send an email out, a little spoiler about 15 minutes before the live video. And there is a blog that's coming out and little things like that. But really, we want you all just to know that we want to keep you safe and we care about you. And while we're not going to all be together in October, there are a lot of exciting ways that you can still keep connected with the team this fall because we are not going away. That's for sure.
Good morning, Evan. Evan Whitehead just jumped in and joined us. Good to see you, buddy.
I have a message from you, Evan. I promise I'll be responding soon. Evan's doing some cool stuff with the team that we're not allowed to talk about.
I know. Bree's pitching shirts too, it looks like.
Oh, good.
Cocktails and convo with Jeff shirt. We're working on that too. We're working on it. And that's we're gonna call that's. I appreciate that she's giving me like the banner rights, but it's cocktails and randomness, and it's really with Dave Schmitto. I just get to join them each week. It's
You know, all these things
Lisa, good morning.
On our swag site. So if you haven't visited the Teach Better swag site, we're just going to keep putting stuff up there.
Can we just like do like a discount or something right now, since like, you know, we had to do this thing. So let's do Teach Better 19, Teach Better 19, throwing back to like remembering the Teach Better 19, which is what I want to do right now too. Also, I won't put the code. I got to get on after we get off live. I'll put the code in. That'll save you 25% on the swag site. So if you go to teachbetterswag.com, use Teach Better 19 for that. With that being said, Rae, I thought it maybe would help us all get through this time if we did maybe some reminiscent of 2019 conference. You kind of touched on it, like, I mean, best 3 days of your life, which don't tell your mom and dad and sister that, you know, who you just spent a couple of days with.
Yeah, but if you're listening right now, will you, while we're talking, type in your favorite memory of Better 19? Even if you weren't there, like maybe it was a funny story you heard or you followed it on social media, or maybe you were there with us. Like, what was the moment during that conference that you really, really enjoyed? I'd love to hear that.
Bree, thank you. Bree says she's gonna post some pics. Dude, we should do that. I don't know if we have that. We should do some of that today, Rae. Let's get on maybe on the team accounts, like just some throwback pictures and stuff. Do you have a favorite
moment from the conference?
I have a lot of them, but I have one that I've been. So when there's a post going up on the site here, 20 minutes or something like that, that I wrote last night, just basically announcing this as well, but via blog form as well. And I started by kind of reminiscing on 2019, and just thinking through. There was a couple moments. One of them was the first night. So Friday. So you probably remember, like Thursday night, I was a wreck. Like,
you were a mess.
I was so just like exhausted and burnt out, and so like I was just anxious and nervous about the whole thing. I was like, well, what if it's not good enough? What if it's not designed well enough? What if we mess up? What if we run out of chairs, right?
To be fair, though, Jeff, people, just to give you credit, you had done 99% of the logistics for this event. So you were worried because you were in charge of literally how the conference went. You did a ton of work. The reason that conference went smoothly is all because of you and our amazing volunteers. Just you.
I appreciate that. Now everyone thinks you're drunk for that compliment, but thank you.
Coffee.
I spiked it. But like that night, so Thursday, and I kept saying, if you remember Thursday night, I kept saying, and all Friday morning, I'm like, I just need to get through lunch. So I was afraid we were gonna run out of food. That was one of my big fears. I'm like, once I get past lunch, I'll be chill. We got past lunch and things were going great, and I kind of chilled. But Friday night, we're at the network event. We packed that Penny's. I mean, it was packed. We had the little room in the back, like, and it was full when we had people pouring out in the tables. And I kind of stopped with Chad, and I turned him, like we were talking, I turned him around, and I'm like, look at the room. I'm like, we did this, like this happened because of your, you know, this all started with your stupid little idea in your room years ago. And then I jumped up on a stool and I just yelled, "Hey, picture real quick." And everybody turned.
So loud.
And I took a picture of everyone just like you screaming at me. And I'm just like, I took that and I was like, oh, I love that. That was one where I was just like, wow, that was cool. And then at the very end, for some reason, and you all agreed that it was okay for me to like close the conference up. And like, I thanked everyone, said, let's get out there and teach better. And I just kind of stood there, and I remember having my arms open because I think I was just like releasing it and just watching everyone stand and like cheer and they started hugging and high fiving as they started going. Like the team came up, and it was just like this moment of like, we just did that. Like that just happened. Was just a really, and then the third thing that I'll reminisce and I'll let you speak is like all the people that like came and talked about like, I did this, I built this relationship came. It was so cool. We used to, so-and-so and I were always connected, but we like, this brought us together. We actually got to meet, and it's all these things. I mean, just, yeah. So do you want to, so I'll stop, but we got a bunch coming through the comments. Do you want to touch on a few of those? And then I want you to share too. I'd love to hear.
Yeah, I love reminiscing. Like I said, this really was the best weekend. So I would reminisce on this for hours. Oh, Don Epps was literally live for the entire time, and Don Epps getting me onto a Facebook Live was awesome. Yes, Alex.
Speaking of that, well, I think one of the other things that got me, I'm going to grab it right here, is that I still have it because I'm making him come get it in person. But we made this for Don, right?
Yep.
And then on the other side is his Chasing Greatness. And you had went over to the networking event on Thursday night, I think, at this point. But we videoed Don. I think Chad has that video somewhere on his phone, and Don just lost it. and it was the coolest thing ever. But Alex, yeah, I mean, yeah, Don being live everywhere was just
hysterical.
Cool.
He was hysterical.
Sammy presenting for our first conference, like that was. And we've said this a lot. One of my favorite things is the fact that like, or like if you never presented before, that's fine. Come share your story. Like I love the fact that we're a conference that like the first one. So
cool.
Ooh, we got to see that. Let's see your. We got to see it. Pictures that didn't happen there, Danielle. So let's see what else we got. Pics. People saying that they weren't there, but they saw the pics. Adam just being able to be connected with so many amazing educators and feel inspired and motivated to be better. Love it. Rae, you said best 3 days of your life. Can you pinpoint 1, 2, or 3 moments of that weekend that really just like when you think back, what are the first things that pop in?
Okay, so I won't lie. One of the first moments that I will always remember that I feel like is worth talking about is I was by myself. I should just preface because I had Thursday was crazy. I came in Thursday. We were setting up, went to the networking event. And then if you remember, you were so stressed and we still had to pick up Ashley from the airport. Ashley didn't come in till like 2 a.m.
She was delayed a ton.
Oh, she was delayed like crazy. I half slept, woke up, and then picked her up at the airport and then almost got lost in Ohio. Thank God your wife was around because I texted her at like 4 a.m. being like, Amy, I don't know how to get back to your house. Anyway, the point is, we didn't sleep. Like I didn't really sleep Thursday. We sure didn't sleep Friday. We were at that crazy networking event Friday. Yeah. And then at that point we were just running on like so much adrenaline. And Saturday morning was the second day of the conference. And we got there at 6 a.m. to like get things set up for day 2. And standing in that main room with the lights and the pictures were going and the social media wall was going, nobody was in there though. And I was blasting music to get the music going. And man, that was the moment. I feel like I sat there with the music going, specifically the song. Who did it? It was the I Lived song, but I don't remember who sang it. I have to look it up. But it was just like
Kevin Butler. Kevin Butler sings that.
No, it was for real. What's that song? It's One Republic or something silly.
Oh, yeah, I think it is, yeah.
But it's like blasting music in that space after a day's worth of energy, and you could still feel it at 6 a.m. the next morning. It was like so cool. I think the other thing for me was meeting people and like genuinely being so excited to meet somebody that you had never met, but you feel like you knew. Yeah. There's so many times that I like got to see Maggie was my go-to. I picked on Maggie the whole conference. I just kept introducing her to people and meeting Sam for the first time. Like there were so many amazing faces that you're like, oh my gosh, we've been connected for so long. And now we actually get to see each other. It was crazy.
Yes, Brie. Mama Tiff's speech was
killer.
Yes.
Killer.
That was yes. I think I was thinking of something you said just popped a memory in my head. I just lost it. I'm gonna move on. But meeting so many people that like that first night in the bar and in the conference, like someone like came up and said hi, and you're like, you look slightly different than your Twitter image, but I know we know each other, and like then you have that connection, like, oh, it's you, and you're it was just like fun. Thursday
night the networking, I was the first one that got there from the team because we were setting up and going to networking, and I got to meet Jeff Kaplan in person. Like, oh my goodness, like he's a real person. Like he's not just somebody I hang out with every Thursday virtually.
And when you meet Jeff Kaplan in person, you don't just get to meet Jeff Kaplan in person. You get a hug, you get a high five, and you're embraced like a brother or sister. And it's like, and I don't know if this makes let me see if this makes sense. When Kaplan hugs you, it's like a genuine hug. Does that make sense? Like, it's not like a, hey, we're good friends. It's like a, I love you, brother. I love you, sister. And like, do that. So shout out to Jeff.
No, yeah. I feel like the first people I met at the setup was Kevin Butler. Was crazy to me. Kevin Butler came and blew up like 4,500 balloons. Just so you know, I want you to know that every balloon you saw at that conference, Kevin Butler was sitting by himself blowing up. The fact that he lived through that was a big deal. And then at the networking event, I met Kevin Butler, Suzanne Daly, and Kristen Nan. I mean, it was just like, oh my God, these people. It was so fun.
So that was a moment we were stressing out a little bit because we ran out of chairs. We didn't have enough chairs. Yeah. And Kristen Nan says, so we'll all sit on the floor. And we were like, we're okay now. Mm-hmm. So, but shout out to Chad Stebbins and Alex Orrs and Brianna Shaner, who used those little chair dollies and ran chairs all over that building all weekend long to make sure we could get chairs into the right room, stuff like that. Like that's something that not everyone sees on the back end, but those three were just, I mean, running. Like, so as soon as like keynote's done, they grab 50 chairs and deliver them in the rooms because we just didn't have enough chairs,
But okay, let me just preface, because I do actually want to go back to Maggie's comment because I saw that and I want to talk on it.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about these volunteers. So I don't know how to describe this, but we had a volunteer group that was literally the best human beings on the planet. And I had felt like I knew them. And then after the fact, I was like, I think that was the first time we had met. But these people were like so dedicated. And I just felt like they were family immediately from like walking into the facility, that I don't think we could have done it without like Brianna and Chad and everybody else that was just a part of that. Like there was no way that event, they made it work. It was like unbelievable, their commitment and just, what's it called when you taking the initiative to like make that so amazing. Oh my God.
Shout out to Alex Soares. Like I brought him on and I'm like, hey, it's like 3 days before the event. You're in charge of all the rooms. Yes. And he was like, he comes in like the first on Thursday night or Friday morning. He's got a clipboard with everything. And he's like, I'm ready. And I'm like, all right. And he just went. We didn't have to worry about making sure people were in rooms and stuff like that. So it was awesome.
He managed us though too. There was numerous times Friday and Saturday where he's like, Rae, I have a to-do for you. And I'm like, give me 4 seconds. I'm processing whatever work I was doing. He's like, okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes. I have something for you to do. And I'm like, okay, boss, whatever you say.
And the other two, shout out, Becky and Ashley rolled in and were just like, they were like both fairly new with the team still at that point. They're just like, we got this. And they just took over with between social media and breakfast and make sure food with stuff. I mean, super cool. So also huge shout out to Jeff Kubiak for giving us the recommendation of an idea. Well, just shout out in general, but on Saturday I ordered, this is how my mind works. We had enough food on Friday. So I like added 25% more for Saturday, just in case. I don't know. Right. And so we ended up being able to, at Jeff's recommendation, we found a local food bank. We were able to donate like 100 or something like that, close to 100 different meals. And then a bunch of bananas and apples and muffins and stuff like that. It was kind of cool to have that unplanned, positive impact on the community and stuff too, which is really cool. You wanted to touch on Maggie's comment?
She just talked about one of the things we did starting out was kind of setting the tone. The way that we structured the starting and end of Friday and Saturday was very intentional. Like we wanted you to reflect on where you came from Friday and then reflect on where you were going on Saturday. And our speeches, the keynotes really focused on that. One of the first things we did that Maggie said she really liked was that stand-up activity. And that was that idea of acknowledging ways that mistakes we had made, acknowledging really hard moments in our life, and then like seeing that other people had those too, which showed us that we're only human and we all need to, move on. Like the bad day that you have as a teacher where you snap at a student and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Or, you make a call about how a lesson should go and then it totally flops and you're like, oh. And I think it was really important that we set the tone right at the beginning, Friday morning. That's what we talked about but we've all done it. We all have grown from those moments and we're all going to be better. And I agree with her that was such a powerful way to start the conference because it really got everybody on even playing field, which I really liked. And the muffins, Alex.
I know, the muffins. There's so much muffins.
So many muffins.
Very, very others. So we got a couple people watching on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, say hi real quick. And someone's on Twitch. So Twitch is like new to us. So if you're on Twitch, say hi as well. That was a super powerful activity. It was a lot of fun going off of. That was a serious moment. I'm going to a non-serious moment. It was a lot of fun to have. We had people from 23 different states, including California, Florida, and other states that have warmer areas than weather or warmer weather than Ohio might have in November. We had a bunch of people who had like never really experienced like actual snow.
And it snowed. And they're out there like, I'm like, how many people? Like Kubiak's out there. He's out there just filming the snow, like and talking in the snow, just loving it. A lot of people going out in the snow. Like that was just like a fun little thing that's like
just one of those things, well, I'll get you that. We did, and it snowed on Friday, but it was pretty nice on Saturday. It's just one of those weird things. A bunch of people got up on Friday morning bright and early, and Chad and Adam went for a nice run.
That's crazy.
I didn't make that because on Thursday night I actually almost told my wife to take me to the hospital because I couldn't breathe.
You were stressed.
But I'll tell you what, Friday and Saturday, the other thing that I really love is that Saturday night we packed the bar again.
I know.
People. No one wanted to go home. No one wanted to go home, which I thought was great because. Go ahead.
That's when I got my challenge coin.
That's when it was on Saturday night. For
those of you that Bradford Hubbard, are you going to show yours? Yeah, mine's in my wallet. Bradford Hubbard did an amazing episode of Teach Better Talk podcast ages ago, guys. Like, go look that up. It's probably, what do you think, like first 50? Like, it's I think
it was first 50, yeah. He was probably first 50.
Bradford Hubbard, go look that up. He talks about this amazing story with challenge coins. Trust me, listen to it. And Jeff and I, from then on, was like, oh, so we're going to get one of those. We're going to get one of those. And every time he had this like very appropriate, but like kind of dismissive response of, yeah, no, but okay. And I was like, oh man, how do you get one of these things? And the conference, after not sleeping, there was so much emotion. When he gave us those Saturday night, that was a moment. It was a moment where you're like choked up and you're like, we did something.
Yes.
Very cool. Yeah.
Number 75 there, by the way.
I'm 85, 185.
No. His episode was number 75 for the podcast.
Oh, good job. Thank you for catching that.
So we were both wrong. Not top 50. Top 100. First one, not top. First 100. So shout out to Bradford, man. That was awesome.
That was so fun.
So Carrie says Teach Better needs challenge coins.
Carrie, keep your eyes out for things that the Teach Better team continues to do, and you never know. You never know.
So to recap, I just want to make sure, because some people have joined us kind of midway through. I think everyone's figured out what's going on. So we did have to officially cancel the conference. We are not going virtual. However, we have a lot of other events that are virtual that are already out, like, that are already announced, like the July 14th network event, which is 100% free, but also others that we are going to announce during that July 14th event as well, coming up. And a lot of other stuff. We're constantly just working daily, basically, trying to figure out how many other opportunities we can give you to learn and grow and connect and hang out with us, essentially, right? Rae is considering the 72 hours live that was brought up earlier, so that's a thought.
We did 12 hours that people still ask me about. They're like, how was that 24-hour live? I was like, I'm going to get credit for doing that 24 hours, even though it was only 12, but it was really hard. 24 hours. Yeah, we were live for 24 hours.
Yeah. I saw Bree yesterday post a picture of her with her. I was part of the 12-hour live.
I know the shirt.
So can we just, everyone who's watching, can we you push out on social and encourage anyone who was there with you? Can we just make today all about sharing about 2019, the conference? Hashtag Teach Better and Teach Better 19. Let's just can we do that? Can we just continue the reminiscing? I think that would be very helpful.
And if you weren't there, then I want you to still push out about your excitement for 2021, because you can still, how about this? Reminisce on 2019, but if you don't have that memory, maybe you weren't connected to us yet, push out a reminisce of a time that you connected with somebody. The whole point of the conference was to build connections and take really strategic takeaways back to your classroom. So push out, give someone a shout out. If there was somebody that you met, not at our conference, but at a different event that really made a massive impact, that shaped you as an educator, that built on a friendship that already existed virtually, and you added a new layer of that by meeting face to face, give them a shout out. People love to be celebrated. This is a great opportunity to celebrate, really, really good people, and make sure that you do see them in the future, just not during current times.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good addition there.
Love it.
All right. So last thing, I'm going to put it back up just so that you guys have it one last time. The address to go for the July networking event is right there, teachbetter.com/kickoff2020. And Rae has something else that I forgot. Go ahead.
Yes, you did forget. So I know we've talked a lot about the Teach Better 2020 conference being canceled. We've reminisced about the Teach Better 19 conference, and we are all excited to eventually start hearing the news of 2021 And in addition to all that, we have a lot coming out this fall that we can't wait to tell you about, that we will be releasing a lot of on the 14th. So make sure you register in that link. But we have something else going on just today that is a very major celebration for this week. So can we talk about Jennifer?
Yes. Let's do that.
So for those of you who I'm sure you all know already, but Jennifer Appel co-authored a children's book with her puppy Maya Appel. And their book is coming out Thursday, like literally this Thursday. So I want to give you the details. We're going live every single day this week to talk about the book. But we're not just talking about the book in terms of being a parent and getting a beautiful children's book. That is something we are going to touch on. But really, we're focusing on how to use it in the classroom. And we're focusing on how to use it in the classroom, in a 3rd grade classroom, in a 7th grade classroom, in a high school classroom. We want to make sure we talk about this beautiful story that isn't just a story, but the award-winning dog is really a fantastic way to use a mentor text to talk about culture and talk about being a good person. It aligns wonderfully with Hans Appel's book that I know I see all over social media all the time. Anyway, this children's book's coming out Thursday, and we're doing a big celebration this week for it. So catch us live. We'll be releasing a lot of different promos and times. We have guests joining us, which includes Tracy Browder, Kristen Nan, Bree is coming. We have amazing people that are coming to celebrate the book, and it officially will launch Thursday. But here is something I want to make sure you hear. Maybe the most important fact of all. Are you ready? Thursday, you can get it on Amazon. And you should. Yippee, we all love Amazon. But Jennifer Appel is like the sweetest person on the planet. And I know I have secret insider information that if you actually order the book on awardwinningculture.com instead, that you get a little care package. And I'm just saying, I would want a Maya signed copy with stickers.
Yeah.
So I would go to Award Winning Culture to order the book rather than Amazon on Thursday. That's my sneaky little hint for you.
So the book comes out on Thursday, but we're not waiting until Thursday to start celebrating and talking about it, right?
Oh, no, we're actually going to go live today.
Today at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central, right? And then
with the amazing Jennifer Appel, Maya Appel, the 2 authors, Kristen Nan, and maybe me. I'm excited.
Maybe Rae.
It'll be fun. 2
so
o'clock.
make sure you jump. Yeah, make sure you 2 o'clock Eastern time today, so you can get a little insider excitement and knowledge, and because you get Jen, Chris, and Nan, and Maya, and Rae will be there too. Like, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah. And I won't lie, how cool is it? Like, get a children's book. There's a million ways to use it. We're going to talk about that on our live videos. But the character in the book is a real dog you can interact with, follow on Instagram, all this stuff. So there's just so many fun things now that I've read the book, because I got a little sneak preview, that when I watch Maya's Instagram stories, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know who that is. They're in the book. Like, no kidding. It's so lame. But I am like loving this children's book because it's completely encompassed like everything I look at on social media. It's so cute. It's so fun. I
like it. Okay, anything else? Any last minute stuff? Go register for July 14th. Catch them live today at 2 o'clock Eastern time to hang out with Jen. Yes, something else.
Sorry. Can we just mention, so July 14th's event, registration closes on the 10th. So the event is on the 14th. It's a free event, 2 hours, great people. You can read about it at that website. But you have to register before the 10th because registration closes on the 10th.
Good note. That's important. So will we be listing all the times we're going live this week? Are we announcing each one of those? We are announcing on social media each one of those, right?
I will now because Liv asked. So yes, I will do that for you specifically. Yes, a post will be coming up.
Sometimes you just got to be paying attention to your notifications. That's important.
I know.
But we'll try to make sure that we'll mention that, because there's a bunch of times this week that we're going live with Jen and different people and stuff. So, and
we do have quite a family right now that we mentioned Tracy Browder, and already in the comments, #Betterflies.
Betterflies are all over the place. Yes.
Tracy Browder.
Yes. That's awesome. So, all right. So I want to thank. I mean, we had a bunch of people jump on this morning and not only just be here and interacting with us, but I think helping us get through this announcement by letting us know that they understand, they get it. We appreciate you all so much. Like, you can't even understand it. This was so this was a tough one, but
it was.
This family that we got makes everything just a little easier, I think, in my mind. So July 14th, be there. We want to hang out with you. We want to make sure that you're getting all this info that we're sharing and stuff, and we got a lot more coming. So, hang out, and then make sure you check out live tonight or today with Jen and Rae and Nan, Kristen Nan. Sorry, I should call her by her full name. And and Maya. So. Anything else? Otherwise, we're gonna go, right? We should probably do some work today too. Is that a thing?
I mean, I'm gonna work, but for those of the listeners that listen to Teach Better Talk podcast, they know you don't really work. But I'll be working today, so let me know if you need anything.
Last thing, unfortunately, our swag site's built on Shopify. Shopify's having some issues right now. I can't get logged in, but I will get the Teach Better 19 code up there as soon as possible for 25% off all the swag. So. Just keep checking back on that, teachbetterswag.com to get that. So we'll see you on July 14th or later on today live. Appreciate y'all.
Bye, guys.